This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee
I was like, have we really restarted, or...
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk
Now it's
for
called
nearly
the
an
Stanley
hour
Parable
when he
Tale.
realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Is there going to be a bucket now, though?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Where did we see the thing that said no buckets past this point? Oh, I forget.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
This game, I swear.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through
The two of them.
section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
No. Are all
Good Stanley.
Are all
I'm
of the-
glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
It's the Broom Closet. Baby.
Whee! That wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next?
Engine import.
Played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. It's as classic now as it was back then.
Fucking asshole.
Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
It's strange that I immediately stumbled into this. Like,
now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry.
yeah, I definitely had Companion Cube vibes.
Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and... Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Oh, we might as well get this. Button. Do, 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 do. Buttons all day, buttons all night. Not all day, though. I do really enjoy this. For him to... Ooh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh, this
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Does the bucket enjoy the whiteboard ending? Does it? Dog mode. Dog mode is on now. Well. Dog mode. I hope you're ready for dog mode.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait.
When I try to use, I get a dog noise.
That you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Let him have it.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all.
Oh.
Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here.
Oh,
and
two
I'm
stickers.
going to snap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Let's get some more. Third sticker, come on. I need the three sticker achievement.
I could take the name calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I'm completely sold on this. Oh, and I wonder. Okay, so now I'm wondering. Would this be like if you were to play this without having played the original Stanley Parable? If you when you load in when it says have you played it before, I wonder if they withhold the new content door for longer until you've explored more of the game. Let's go down. I was hoping that they had changed the song to be like Stanley and the Bucket. They did mention that the script of what they had added to the deluxe version was more than had already existed in the game, so I'm sure the narrator did get paid for a lot. And I was briefly worried when we were at the part where they had the skip button. If I was like, is most of the when they were bragging about, oh, like there's so many, there's so many more lines being added in. I'm like, are most of them just the skippable dialogue? Because that would, Okay, we're here. Much better.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark...
Why a bucket,
though? Chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Now we're just gonna chill.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
The bucket knows, but I don't know, so I'm not going to do anything. I might bark a little.
2845.
That's what I have to say to you. 4 barks.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo. The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Alright, Zane. Catch you later. Ooh, I could go back up and do that? No. No.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Ooh. You think the bucket's gonna get me out of the explosion ending?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
So is it not this one? I was trying before to... Nope.
The monitors
No, there's no way.
And Stanley nearly
It must be
dropped
when
the
you
bucket
step
of
onto the elevator and the doors close.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
So yeah, can I, like... No.
No!
No.
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point...
Oh, maybe the bucket's going to sacrifice itself to save me.
Except for the bucket.
Or is it going to turn out that the
But
bucket
here was the proof.
runs the mind control
Operation.
facility?
Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the control.
Oh, the bucket did it.
Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Initiating silly birds sequence? Awaiting bird button input. I am
flicked
Trash
through one
Man.
video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I'm glad I had dog mode for this. Alright, we will play more of this, but I'm going to put it up for now. Absolutely wonderful. Worth the purchase, which is all I can really ask. So thank you everybody for being here. Okay, so here's the deal. I was going to resume playing Ace Attorney tomorrow, but tomorrow is going to have to be a Final Fantasy XIV stream because I have something special planned. I don't know that it'll take the whole, like, it's not going to take that long, so maybe we'll do that and then Phoenix Wright. And then I guess let's play some more. We'll do this. More Phoenix Wright on Saturday, whether we get to it on Thursday or not. And then we'll come back to Stanley Parable on Monday. and thank you for your impact, everybody. Thank you for your gym pact. Right? Thank you for your gym pact. We will so like I said, Final Fantasy 14 tomorrow, and maybe also Ace Attorney Saturday, and more of this on Monday. So no, it's not Return to Mentor Roulette, but it is something that I am working on that has taken me more time than the Mentor Roulette achievement, if you can believe that. I guess it'll be a surprise. Like I would have talked about it, but I was busy playing the game all day. So Return to the Mentor Roulette featuring Bucket would be incredible. Do 2,000 Mentor Roulettes while holding a bucket? That does sound like an achievement, but I'm not going to go for that. So thank you guys, and I will see you next time.